How much of a loss are Pooran's and Klaasen's retirements to international cricket? Not as much as many might think, only a fraction of their white ball internationals were games of real consequence. Nicholas Pooran has retired from international cricket. Heinrich Klaasen beat him to it by a week. Their retirements may not feel as seismic as some recent ones, but as two of the game's most fearsome and effective middle-order hitters, they're far from insignificant. Their work has always been valued in very modern currencies. Last year, Pooran broke Chris Gayle's record for the most sixes hit in T20s in a calendar year. Actually, he obliterated it, ending with 170, well past Gayle's 135 in 2015. Pooran played 38 more innings, which feels at least as relevant a metric. Klaasen ended the same year with 105 sixes, the sixth most hit in a calendar year. Between them on that list it is all Gayle, a marker of the esteemed company they are in, as well as a reminder of how far ahead of the game Gayle was back then. Gayle never officially retired from the game, he just kept going until there was nowhere for him to go. But in that too he was presaging. Pooran and Klaasen have retired, but they're not retired because these days cricket retirements are not goodbyes so much as quiet quitting, that is, finding ways to do less for more, or for at least the same reward as before, and with a better work-life balance. They're a loss, yes, except we're not really losing them. Pooran said goodbye on Monday night, and on Thursday he'll be saying hello again, as captain of MI New York in Major League Cricket's third season. Klaasen will also be there, captaining Seattle Orcas. Ferris Bueller thought life moved pretty fast nearly 40 years ago. He had no idea. Also, if international cricket is your thing, then they're even less a loss, because international cricket is not really their thing. International cricket didn't really see the best of them. Actually, let's rephrase that, truly meaningful international cricket didn't see the best of them, or nearly enough of them. Only 23 of Klaasen's 118 white ball international matches were in ICC World Cups, games with real meaning in jeopardy. An even smaller proportion of Pooran's games were at those events, 24 out of 167. In other words, 80% of the international white ball games Klaasen played, and 86% Pooran played, lacked any real, meaningful context. That is basically what so much bilateral white ball cricket is now: random matches floating in the ether without rhyme or reason, more so since the end of the short-lived ODI Super League in 2023, and with dwindling commercial returns in most instances. These retirements don't say anything about the two players' commitment to the game, or about their sense of national duty, however nebulous a concept that may be. They don't, in fact, say as much about Pooran and Klaasen as they do about international cricket. They're retiring with a pinnacle international event, the T20 World Cup, less than a year away. An event Klaasen made the final of last year and almost won for South Africa. In Klaasen's case, he is also foregoing the chance to play in a home 50-overs World Cup in 2027. But for him to play in next year's T20 World Cup would mean he plays in a majority of the 23 bilateral T20s South Africa have scheduled until then, which will only accrue a scintilla of meaning closer to the event, in the guise of being warm-ups. He'd probably also have to play some of the 12 ODIs scheduled in that time, which serve even less purpose. West Indies have 25 T20s scheduled for the same period. This is the vicious cycle of international cricket as it stands now. Smaller boards need ever more money to keep their best players, which comes from greater ICC revenue distribution, which come from more ICC events, for which, as preparation, teams need their players for bilateral cricket, which, in turn, compels players to make the kind of choices Pooran and Klaasen have made. Not only will both players be playing games within the context of T20 league play with more immediate competitive meaning, they will also earn more playing in franchise leagues between now and then. A lot more. It's worth reading this post on the Broken Cricket Dreams blog for an idea of the potential difference in earnings. Cricket was pretty pleased with itself in the aftermath of the IPL final, when Virat Kohli ranked the triumph long awaited as it was still several rungs below Test cricket. But the messenger was more significant than the message, as Andre Russell was quick to point out to The Guardian last week. Those guys, Kohli and others, get lucrative central contracts to play Test cricket and play on the biggest stages. Of course they want to play. West Indians? You might play 50 or 100 tests and, after you retire, there's not much to show for it. There's even less to show for it if you don't play red ball cricket. So a more illuminating ranking would have been of where Kohli placed the IPL triumph in comparison with international whiteball cricket and its trophies. Perhaps he rates the international wins higher. But with these decisions, it's clear where Pooran and Klaasen place it. The two are not a younger generation as such. Klaasen is only 3 years younger than Kohli and Pooran is nearly 30. But their tribe is only going to grow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more breaking cricket news and analysis.